Let's finish this up. Hey, Alex. Well, that's good timing. It's a commission. I figured I'd finish it up on stream rather than wait until I'm not streaming. Speaking of which, let me send a link to the I think it's fine. I think I'll just leave it. Alright, let's get another song going. I know, right? The biggest thighs. But I'm almost done. I'm on the shading part, so only a few more steps and I'll be done with this. And yes, Twitch, she's clothed. You see her pants pockets right there. Don't freaking spaz out. When I'm done with this, I'll see if I can work on the hungover Becky pick, or skin change. Or if I have time, I'll try to work on it during the stream. If not, then I'll work on it tonight. So far, the event for Arknights is pretty fun. I like the gravity mechanic. I like the snake woman that we unlock. She sounds like she's all sinister or devious. Like she's gonna do something if you're not paying attention. Let me know if you can hear me, because I was tweaking some settings earlier. Okay, just checking. Sometimes it's hard to tell what gets changed from my end because I have to actually hear the stream in order to know if anything I changed affected something specific. Yes, yes, it is a fat ass. It's like, god damn woman. But yeah, this is one of the commissions that I have. I only have one more after that. And I can focus on other things. Damn, cookie dough sounds good right now. I have some downstairs, but might be saving it for something. Let's put a little bit of shading down here, just to look like she's standing next to it. There we go. Yeah, they've been becoming rare nowadays. Yeah, I'll be honest, when it comes to Arknight's story, I just skip most of it unless I find it interesting for whatever reason. But for the most part, I've just been skipping it. If there's anything I want to know, I'll read up on it myself. Or like find a video that explains it or something, or I don't know. Like, I don't dislike Arknight's story from what I've seen every so often, but it just doesn't capture me. And I'm mostly just playing the game for both the artwork and the gameplay. Every time counts, it's on screen. Well, in this event, she got a new outfit. So I was like, oh shit. So I got that skin for her. I got most of the new skins, I just gotta get the 2 for the boys that are in the event. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's just like most of the time it's just about, you know, getting research or helping somebody and blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, yeah, we get it. It would be interesting if they do one that has to do with like time travel or something. Which they probably have, but it just, you know, probably just didn't pique my interest. But aside from that, like, I'm mostly just there for the artwork and the mechanics and the stages and stuff, because, like, you know, I enjoy playing the game itself. But yeah, like, the story isn't awful from what I've seen every once in a while, but again, it just doesn't doesn't click with me very much. I think if the story was a little bit more engaging, then I'd probably be a little bit more interested. And then maybe if the certain cutscenes weren't so long. Because sometimes, like, even when you want to just play a level, but you want to hear the story, it can drag on for like a long time before you actually remember that you're like, oh yeah, I was here to play a level. Especially the characters would stop using so many words to describe what realistic. Yeah. They kind of fall into that whole story / anime trope of standing there being amazed that something's happening, but then like not reacting soon enough, or whatever the case may be. Like, you know how it is for most stories where realistically if something were to happen, you would like either freeze up in terror because, you know, this is different, you're not used to it or whatever. Act out immediately because, you know, you're so fucking used to this shit by now. You're like, okay, let's move out. Or a character just constantly keeps freezing up for some fucking reason. You're just like, what the hell? Or it's like, hey, we're gonna go over here, and then we continue to describe what we're going to do for the next 10 minutes. And I'm like... Main story is good though. Episode 11, you care about Steam. Nice. Yeah. Who was my first E2? I do not remember. I'll have to look at the characters to know who it was. Because right now I'm drawing a blank. I'm about to E2 the Snake Woman. I just need a 180,000 monies or whatever the hell it's called. First YouTube waifu? Beats me. If you're talking about the picture, no, she's not a waifu. Not mine, at least. Let's do Act 2 for this. I don't think I'll leave it running for 30 minutes, but definitely listen to this for a while. For you, it's Luna. First YouTube waifu. I don't know. Because you're talking to somebody who's been interested in furry characters and or any other character for like ages, so it probably doesn't even click with me anymore. Because there's been many waifus before characters like Luna. So that's a hard thought. I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you. YouTube waifu. I have no clue who that would be. Because technically that could apply to like VTuber characters too. But yeah, personally I do not know. Right? I mean, again, growing up with 90s cartoons, and I guess technically 80s since they reran at the time, and probably even older cartoons since those reran at the time when I was growing up. my range of who's my wife is whatever. Because that could range from like, you know, Sally Acorn to like Gadget to like Renamon or Maid Marian. It's like pick a year and there's probably like 5 in like a single year. Like minimum, probably. Like I would probably say maybe 3 minimum a year. And it's like no wonder no wonder I'm so desensitized to a bunch of shit, because I'm like, yeah, this is the norm for me. But like I understand, like, you know, obviously you don't show risque things to certain people and stuff like that because, you know, they might not be on the same level. But that's like easy to figure out. That's not like a issue with me. I mostly just leave it up for people to ask me shit. It's like, hey, what is this? And I'm like, oh, well. But yeah, this is one of those things where you just kind of roll with it nowadays, at least for me. First furry artist, yeah, the Torch 4 was basically, of course. I guess for me, it'd probably be Sonic the Hedgehog artists back in the day, because that was like my main cartoon series growing up with. If I had to choose like furry characters in general, it's between that or probably Disney. Or maybe Warner Brothers, because I grew up with all 3 of them simultaneously, so it's really hard to just decide who was the first. But if I had to choose, it would probably be Sonic related, because that was like my main go-to series. That was like the series for me. So growing up with like Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and then getting Sat AM, and then later getting the comics and stuff like that, it was just a giant snowball effect for me. Character wife would probably Gadget. Yeah, again, I grew up with everything pretty much all at once, so it'd be hard for me to decide. Because there's like Gadget, there's Daisy, Maid Marian. Like if I'm only going off of Disney characters, then you got like Kanga. But like if we're going off of the mentality I had when growing up, then Kanga probably wouldn't be on that list at the time, because that's like a more of a later thing. But like Maid Marian and Gadget were definitely up there, and that's just on the Disney side. And then you got like, you know, the Sonic characters, well, mostly Sally and Bunny. Because I'm trying to think, because this was like around like the early '90s for me. Yeah, exactly. I can't just list them all. But that's the problem, because I grew up with all of them at the same time, so I don't know who exactly came first for me, unless we're just going to go by chronological order of when these characters released. Because if we go by that, then it's whoever came first at that point. Okay, I think I'm done with this part. Viro came first. Aren't you funny? Okay, so we're going to need this. Here's a better question. What waifu has inspired my work the most? Which has inspired me the most? Inspired me the most? That's a hard one. else. I'm trying to think of like characters that influenced my artwork. It'd have to be the Sonic ones. I guess if I have to be ultra technical, it would be Julie Sue, at least in Violet's case. But then there's always like Bunny and Sally. But if I had to say which one influenced the most, it'd have to be like Julie Sue first, because she had a really fun design at the time. Yes, I know she's made by He Who Shall Not Be Named, but still, I'm gonna give her credit. But yeah, that's a really... Yeah, I would have to say it's the Sonic stuff for the most influence of my artwork. And that's always been the case, to be honest. Which is funny, because not too many of my characters really reflect the Sonic style. But it was definitely a big influence. Trying to think if there's been anything else. I'll be honest, like it probably was just the Sonic stuff for now, because like even though I grew up with all the other things, I don't think I drew too much furry stuff until way later down the line. Because in the beginning it was mostly just like Marvel, mostly Marvel stuff, and then maybe Mega Man growing up. And then I started drawing Sonic stuff a bit here and there. And then Bomberman as well. But my stuff didn't really start doing any... Well, I didn't really start drawing my own things until 2001. And that's when I came up with Viro. And Viro is like a mix of several things I like. But then it wasn't until like 2003, if I'm recalling correctly, that's when I actually made World Gates and then went on from there. Current favorite, or to me, my current favorite waifu, like furry or in general, or both. In general. If I have to say in general, I'm gonna go with Nakaru Narumi from Mayao Chiki, because she's a dark-skinned girl with blonde hair and blue eyes, wears cat ears, is an artist, makes her own comics and sells them to her fan base, and that's how she pays to make more of her comics. And she's just like a really fun character. And if you don't know who that is, I will put in her name. Nakaru Narumi. Here's her name for you to check out. Why am I not logged in on this? Whatever, I'll do it here. There we go. So yeah, if you ever look at that character, I would say she's probably the waifu for me. Dreambot. I have her figure statue too. The one where she's sitting down with the pencil in her hand. But she's cute. She has a fun little short story. I just wish they did more with her. She gets like one episode to herself, and then the rest is for the other characters, or like the main character and the other main. All right, let's listen to something else. Hydrate. All right. Still got some water. I'll have to get more next time. I meant to refill this before I started streaming. I forgot. I'm always out of water before I start streaming. Drink from the Thibault mug. I should get one made just for the fun of it. Just make it and put it on Redbubble or something. Real thick. Right now I felt like watching Monty Python. It's like, get the holy hand grenade. It's like, wait, what? It's like once you hear that, you're just like, what do you mean the holy hand grenade? It's like, what is this, D&D? I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it was. So yeah, we made this whole thing just so we can play D&D. Like, my name is Tim. These. Yeah, there's a lot of ideas could go about it. It just kind of just depends on what would make it interesting. Maybe just have some characters playing like a role-playing thing, and then all their characters get fat during the game. And then, like, I don't know, have one of the characters at some point go like, was this just a cheap idea or a cheap way to get all of our characters fat? And then like the game master is like, no. As they totally rigged the game. Sounds like something Douglas would do. But he's more into a multitude of things, not just that. So I'd probably have either like a friend of his who's into that more, or just like a totally separate storyline altogether. Which will likely be the case since all the Creamfield cast will be having their own shit to do. Do this one real quick. Maybe. It had to kind of like fit naturally, not just be there because Skylar's there. Because it's like one of those things where it's like if you see a certain character, you kind of expect certain things. So I'd probably try to avoid that. But then again, that's kind of like the entirety of Creamfield. Okay, so got all these aside. Oh yeah, I'll have to check the poll winners and ask the cast to see what they get to working on soon. Probably do the character poll first, since I can stream that one. Okay, this should be good. Next step. So I can see. I guess if Skylar were to play a game like that, it would have to be by some friends who like know what Skylar's into, and then they cater it to him for like the first night, and then they play normally for other nights. But then again, it'd probably be hard for him to stick around if it's like not to his interests all the time. Especially if he's like busy with other things. I'll have to think about it if I ever use him for that kind of story. I still think it'd be better for like a character who's just into that to to just kind of force it into the game, but try not to make it look suspicious. But then it's like super obvious. True. Like, I'm sure some of his guy friends, some of Skylar's guy friends have kind of noticed. But then again, they're probably like, you know, bros, so they don't just like straight up point it out. You'd be like, yo, you ever notice that Skylar's girlfriends end up getting like really fat? And then they would have whatever dialogue would come up from that. And I'm sure like some of the women probably gossip about that kind of connection as well. So it's probably not even a well-kept secret. It's just something they all noticed. Although probably Skylar's first girlfriend would probably be like the one that they don't really pay attention to, since that was his first girlfriend. Hello, Pablo. But then, you know, once he has Marcy, it's just really obvious that Skylar's into the big women. And it would be probably cute if Marcy meets Skylar's friends and stuff like that. So I'll definitely have to do a story where he introduces her. Especially since Blake won't be around at that point. So it'll help introduce her to like newer people. She'll still have Stacy, but Stacy also has her own group of friends and stuff like that too. How does this look if I turn this on? That's not so bad. I want to say Black Circus since is a little bit further ahead of it, so I want to line them up a bit better. And then I want to wait a bit before I update the public sites, because I want there to be at least a 4-page gap between them. And then whenever I upload to like Patreon and all that for the comic pages, that will be when I update the public sites, because I want to keep those pages consistent. I won't play this one too long. I'm just in the mood. I think we're good with the upper panel. Let's grab a little bit more of these. But alright, let's actually find some decent music. What would be a good one? I don't think I remember any of the songs from this game. But yeah, I do want to get back to working on comic pages this weekend. So, Black Circus will be first. Go. After this side. Outfit. There we go. This part's fine. I realized those like monkey sounds or whatever is pretty common. with older games. There we go. Music kind of gives me Donkey Kong vibes. Hope everyone's doing good today so far. Just playing Pokemon. Yeah, I need to play some games too at some point. I'm gonna try to make time for it, like on Sunday or something. I don't really play games as much as I used to. I'm sure I could have time for it, I just gotta make a day for it or something. Well, that's good. Yeah, sometimes sandbox games or you know, over giant world games are just fun to just run around and do whatever in. Just kind of vibe. Jesus, I was like, the hell is that? Forgot I set that alarm. It's funny because my alarm kind of sounds like this theme. There we go. Yeah, if I can do this more often, I will. Kind of just depends on what I want to work on. Because some things I can't stream on Twitch, so it kind of depends on if I move over to Picardo. And then I do want to try to stream on YouTube at some point, so whenever I get things set up for that, I'll give that a shot. And try to make days for like different streams. And then just gotta decide what the time will be. But I'll try to do earlier streams. It's just hard because, you know, I have to. I obviously I can't account for everyone's time zones, so I kind of just gotta pick times and go with it. Skylar's favorite thing to work on? Probably just trying to come up with more recipes. Probably watch cooking videos or something. I think we're good up here. It's good up here. Marcy's waistline. I thought about making a joke like that, and I was like, no, I'll take it seriously. Because it seemed too easy. But he definitely made short work of that within a week. Has Marcy ever pinned somebody with her ass? Oh yes, yes she has. Completely by accident, but still, it's embarrassing. Oh yeah, I've seen that. But I've seen like big characters do stuff like that all the time. Like the hippo lady from Rocco's Modern Life. Especially the episode where Rocco's trying to go grocery shopping and she's like literally taking up the entire aisle with her ass. And so every time he sees like a opening to get past her, she just moves her butt into that direction. So he finally sees an opening, tries to make his way through, and then she turns again, and he just gets smushed against her cheeks. And then she like notices and pulls him off and just glares at him and says, "How dare you?" and then smacks him. And that's like the running joke with when it comes to her, is that every time Rocco comes across her, he ends up grabbing something of hers, and then she beats on him. Except for the episode where he gets her with Ding Dong Ditch, and then she like falls in love with the game, and it's just her and him doing that for like an entire day. And all he calls her is Hippo Lady. I don't even know if she has an actual name. Pumpkin got a jam bod. Yeah, he does. Okay, so I think we're good on this part. Next. Then all that's really left is doing the background. Hello. She's like, hey, what you doing? Can I have some? Can I? Can I? Can I? Can I? And then when you try telling her no, she's like, come on, you have it, and I want it. And then you give her one, or, well, assuming the dogs can eat cookie dough, probably not, but let's just say you did give her one, she just want more. She's like, can I have another? I just gave you one. Yeah, but can I have another? Exactly. He's like, no, mine. Look, you have it and I want it. Come on. Probably, if this was like a random dog or like a dog that I had or something, you'd probably be like, "Come on, I brought you a dead bird. You loved it. Now I want a treat. I want what you're having." It's even worse when you get them something for them, but they still don't. But they still want what you have, and you're just like, "What the fuck?" You're like, "No, it's mine. What the hell?" Then they're like, "You're mean," and then just leaves. Aaron, just after spending all day putting insulation. Yeah, yeah, like you earned that. That's yours. You're like, nah. Here's one of the greatest songs ever. What about now? It's time to rock with the biggity back bumper. What about now? It's time to rock with the biggity back bumper. Bump to the beat, to the bump to the bass, bump to the beat, to the bumper. Bump to the beat, to the this song is such a gem. Bump to the beat, to the bump to the bass, bump to the beat, to the bumper. Bump to the beat, to the bump to the bass, bump to the beat, to the bumper. Bump to the boot, to the boot, to the exactly. Bump to the bass, to the bass, bass. Bump to the boot, to the boot, to the boot, bump to the bass, to the bass, bass. It's the theme song for Buck Bumble. This game is a fun time. Shitty controls, but still fun. One of those games where it's just like, nah, this is one of those gems. God, I was so young hearing that song. I was just like, yeah, Buck Bumble. No fucking clue how I got into that. I think it was just a random. I think Buck Bumble was just one of those games where your parents take you to Blockbuster to rent a game for the weekend, and you don't see any of the popular games that you hear from friends or that you've seen and stuff that you want to rent. Like it's probably rented out already, but you don't want to leave the Blockbuster without something. And so you just look for whatever's the most interesting fucking thing you can find, and then you rent it, and then you just fall in love with whatever random game it was, whether it was good or shitty, and you just made do with it. You're like, fuck it, we're gonna make this work. There are very few games where you cannot make that work, such as Superman 64. But other than that, you just keep going. His bot, his boss swore at him. Oh, wow. Uh, yeah, let's do this. Freaking water shrine. I miss when Yu-Gi-Oh was more creepy. Because we got songs like this. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh was more ancient focused. Ah, I see. It's AI, that's why. Well, that's the problem with AI bots. It's connected to the internet, and the internet's full of degenerates at this point, so you're kind of screwed. Shine on our thighs. Yeah, I'll have to check it out later. I'll say most games with a water level have good music. Or most water levels have a good music. Very rarely do you come across like a water level that just has crappy music. Let's tone this down a bit. Well, yeah, they've probably been hanging around the chat or whatever for too long and just picked up stuff. Yeah, sometimes water levels are just like a pain in the ass. Like, the game that ruined all water levels for me for life was Echo the Dolphin. Like, after playing that game, anytime I was in a water level, I just dreaded it. Like, I was just not prepared, or not looking forward to playing those levels regardless of the game. Like, it could be a game where you don't drown, and it's still a water level I do not want to deal with. And I think it was like a combination between Echo the Dolphin, Chemical Plant Zone, and the water level for Ninja Turtles. I think those three just ruined it for me. Sonic, not so much, because there was a point where I managed to beat Chemical Plant when I was young, or like really young, so I felt really accomplished that I could do it. But Echo and Ninja Turtles just definitely ruined it for me forever. I could probably beat those games nowadays because I know what to do, and I know, like, if there's, like, you know, certain hitboxes or whatever, I know what to avoid and stuff like that. But growing up with those games, it just destroyed me, both spiritually and psychically. It's just like, nah, we're gonna ruin this for you for life. I'm a lot better about it nowadays, but still, just I see a water level, I'm just like, okay. Water Temple of Twilight Princess. I mean, if I ruined it for you, I ruined it for you. For me, I think water level for Twilight Princess was actually a lot easier compared to the water temple in Ocarina of Time. Like, I don't think they're both like severely difficult, but I think Ocarina of Time was definitely the fuck you moment in the game. Like when you're trying to look for one of the keys and you find out it's at the very fucking bottom of the temple. Yeah, those bosses were annoying, but for me, I think it was because I played Ocarina of Time that I kind of just expected something to be similar. But yeah, in Ocarina of Time, it was just like, oh, you still need a silver key, and you're running all over the fucking area trying to find that goddamn key, and then you realize that it's underneath the fucking plug or whatever it was, and you're just like, god damn it. You feel like you soft locked. I will tell you, it was probably that key that I'm talking about, because you have to like raise the water level. I can't remember if it was like just to 2 or 3, and you have to go underwater to the very bottom where the little plug is or whatever, and there's a key right at the bottom, and that's where you can keep going, because it's one key that you don't think about, and it just fucks you. It's like the one that you like search all over the fucking place for. And when you find it, you feel both accomplished and pissed at the same time. But like once you get that key and you keep going, the rest of the temple is fucking fun. Especially when you fight Dark Link. Alright, let's get another wonder level going. But yeah, after that moment, you're just like, fuck this level. Yeah, a lot of what Twilight Princess does is kind of mimic Ocarina of Time, because they kind of treat it like it's. I mean, it is technically the same timeline or whatever it is, but they try to take cues from Ocarina of Time. And I'm sure most water levels kind of do that, where it's like, oh, you're in the water level because we got to do something with water. So it might be, you know, raising the water level, lowering it, using it to move stuff, or just, you know, be entirely underwater. So you got to breathe under there somehow with either items, or you just got to understand whatever mechanics they introduce you to. But yeah, Ocarina of Time was like definitely the bitch slap moment where you're just running around looking for that one key, and then you realize it's down there, and you're like, son of a bitch, and then you get it, and then the rest is easy after that. Like, older games just love to punish you for like no reason. And it's funny because back in the day, the reason why older games were harder is because they were mostly for arcades. And so they were just trying to get more money out of you by making the levels difficult. So they could, you know, keep the money coming. But then once they were on consoles, it was like there was no real reason to make them supremely difficult. But the developers were just like, nah, fuck this. So they just kept going for like the longest time. So games like Battletoads was just like, you know what, here's this fucking hover car level. We're just gonna make you wish you were never born. No underwater stuff. Yeah, I noticed that too. Or at least with some of the recent ones. I don't know if Tears of the Kingdom does or doesn't. But Yeah, as far as I remember, the most recent one, or not the most recent, but Breath of the Wild didn't have one, as far as I know. Water and ice levels together. They kind of did that in Ocarina of Time to a degree, because at one point you have to go to the Zora's domain and it's frozen, and you have to kind of go underwater in some cases. It wasn't entirely underwater, but it definitely had some underwater moments that you need to do. And then the rest was just, ice bullshit. Blah, I say. I know, right? I have to get that later. But yeah, like it wasn't entirely like a mix of underwater and ice, but it definitely had those moments where you had to deal with it. But I wouldn't say it was as bad as the water temple itself. Let's see, I need this. But yeah, definitely Echo the Dolphin ruined that for me. I'll say Echo the Dolphin ruined it. Ninja Turtles just instigated it more because of those fucking seaweed things or whatever the fuck they were. And then, actually, I don't need to do it that way. And then Sonic basically just kept the pain coming every time you heard a dun 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 dun, dun and everyone just gets sudden PTSD. It's like, bro, I wasn't even playing the game and I was already feeling anxious. Oh, they did? Did I miss it somehow? Oh, they did. Shit. I'm sorry. I did not notice. I noticed the hydrate and I missed the nun one. Alright, let me shift over. When I stream tonight, I'll keep the nun outfit on to make up for it. Do got that, and then come on. There we go. Yeah, sorry about that. I did not notice. 'Cause, 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 Let's see. Let's try this one. Let's blur that. Nah, if it was that easy, it would kind of be not as fun, to be honest. I like the gradual approach. Makes it more fun when you see it progress. And I think if I was gonna base the church off of like the entire, like the whole point of the thickening and all that, I'd likely just make it a by choice thing. Like mostly like them attending the church itself would basically just instigate it in the first place, because you know whatever their daily routines are is gonna add to the whole point, and then you just see it happening to like a newer character. So like somebody who just joins the church is like, you know, skinny as fuck, and then over time you see them thicken up more and more as they do like daily routines, and I don't know, maybe they're like amazed of how big the portions are for certain things or something like that. and then the character like notices the different types of thick that are around the church. So you have those who are just big and fat, those who are super bottom heavy, or some who just have bellies, or whatever combinations we can come up with. And then maybe thick can also lead to like other things like being voluptuous and stuff like that. So that way there's like more of a variety. And then I don't know, maybe it's like harder for some characters to thicken up, and there could be a whole storyline that goes with that too. So there are ways to keep things interesting. I should put the thing on the bottom because I do not think I did that. I don't think I made any touches to this. There we go. Some highlight on the cheeks. See if I can do anything with this. Should be good enough. Overlay like 10%. But I don't think I need to use it on that, so let's grab her. There we go. That's better. I can probably do it again. It's probably just gonna be a bitch. Overlay. Oh, you know what? I can use this. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. There we go, that works. Smitten by ass. I know, right? And all that's left is some text. Make another folder. Close this. Let me just take one from one of these. No, I clicked on the wrong thing. Dang it. Gotta wait for a few seconds. Come on. Okay. Preferably something that's not showing boobs. I think that should be okay. Let's try this one. Yeah, I can use this. Thank you. question is, do I put it down there or do I put it up here? Down here seems to make the most sense. Shrink it down a little. I like how we have this whimsical music and we just have a large or a thick woman just smashing the shit out of some guy. He went out the way he wanted. Under some thick cheeks. Yeah, I need to dive into more classic games, so maybe that would be a thing for another poll. Pick some Crash Bandicoot characters or characters from that company. Yeah, and then we go for like Spyro characters. I still laugh if they put in that fat dragon for the remake. I was like, oh, they know what their viewers want. It's like, we won't do it to Spyro, but we'll give him a character to drool over. It's like, we know what you want. And God bless. And should be good. I think if the person wants anything else, they'll let me know. Let me just tag it. Alright. I think I will call it for now. Thank you everyone for joining me for this piece of artwork that I've been working on for a bit. Hopefully the person that commissioned me likes it. I will stream again tonight at 9 p.m. Pacific time, and we'll figure out what the hell I'm gonna do then. I'll probably work on Becky's hungover skin, so that way we can get that done and made. Shouldn't take me too long, but who knows. But yeah, I think that's what I'll do later tonight. But yeah, thank you again for coming, and I will see you guys later tonight, alright? You guys take care and have a good afternoon or evening or whatever time zone you're in, or morning something. Have a good day. There we go. That just covers everything. Everybody have a good day, and I will see you later. Bye bye.